And we should now be live. Good evening, everybody. I'm just going to check everything's working fine on OBS. Looks like it is. Good. How are we doing today? Do you say hello if you're in chat? I'm just going to give people a chance to pop in. Hello, King Giga. Hello, Nicholas. Jackson Zilla is here. Joshua is here. Rob Earth is also here. And Jacob the Goose. And welcome back to Canada. And I thought instead of playing something different, which is what I said I would do last week, I decided I would rather try and get the Canada park to a point where it's basically finished. So that means finishing off the area over here that we started last time on the stream and putting a few more displays in. So hello, Sam. So yeah, that's what the point of the stream is today. So I'm just going to get started straight away. So I want to put in another exhibit in this area around the lake. And I'm going to have amenities down here. I don't like the fact that's not straight, so let's try that again. No worries, Joshua. Damn. Oh, I don't have Albertosaurus yet, no. We could put that down here, if we wish. I just want to put in where I want the amenities, first of all. I think we kind of want to have one, like... Okay. Let's have one about... Yeah, let's have one about there. Alberta and Pachyrhino are like two essential Canadian dinosaurs. I mean, the aim was to not like, so it's not like sort of a Canadian dinosaur park. It's Canada's been chosen because, you know, lots of empty space away from people is kind of the idea. Wrong type. But like I say, I think Albertosaurus would make for a good addition in this part of the park, so... Ooh. I'm a little unused to the controls. I've been playing Star Trek Online pretty much the last week, and it's maybe a little unused to Jurassic World Evolution 2's controls. Need to get the old muscle memory back. That'll do. Oh, it's not quite level with it. Whoa. Whoops. Silly of me. There we go. Right. I think we probably need to make this edge a little more flat for the Alberto. Although I do want to maybe do some sort of viewing area up here, so let's just give us a little bit more terrain to work with. Can you put the amenities one step into the ground? Then you have only the concrete ground floor look. True, but I find that sometimes that stops the guests actually getting into there, so and I honestly don't mind the look. Fletcher, do you think the director of the first legendary Godzilla was a good choice as director? Yes, let's talk about that, because I put that in the in the post, didn't I? So yeah, I think it is a good, possibly a good sign. I'm kind of half and half about it. Rogue One is one of my favorite films, and it's basically has been my most favorite of the, shall we say, newer generation of Star Wars films. As for Godzilla 2014, was it 2014? I thought it was 2015. But anyway, I wasn't a massive fan of that movie. I liked some elements, but there was a lot I didn't like. So I'm kind of half and half on the director. I would say I am more positive about this choice for director than, say, I would be if the director was, you know, J.J. Abrams, for example. I cannot stand J.J. Abrams. I'm gonna have to redo some of this, because it would not settle. Yeah, JJ can fuck off, frankly. I hate him. I think he's a hack. I've never understood why anyone gives JJ any sort of credit. He's a hack writer. Every film he makes, he just steals stuff from better films. And he has basically ruined both Star Trek and Star Wars every time he's gone near them. So, yeah, I'm so glad it didn't end up being him. I thought JJ was your favourite. No, you know full well, Nerd Guy, what my opinion of that man is. Nerd Guy Productions, for those that don't know, me and him have another channel where we discuss Star Trek, and yes, the mutual loathing for JJ when it comes to Star Trek. Okay. Do a reboot that makes everything... Yeah, so in regards to like what I think the movie should actually be, I'm not really sure. Me and the other Evo Square moderators were talking about this the other day. There's a big disagreement between us about what the movie should be. I personally think that they should just ignore everything that Jurassic World did entirely and go down a completely different route, reboot the whole thing, or even do some alternative follow-on from Jurassic Park 3 or something like that. I don't think... My issue is that, you know, I know most people seem to want them to continue on from where Dominion left off, but my problem with that is, like, Dominion didn't really leave off with much to, you know, discuss. They had the best opportunity to do some, you know, post-apocalyptic or dinosaur taking over thing, and they didn't. So, you know, what's the point? So I would rather they didn't sort of restrict themselves to following on from Dominion. And I don't think that would necessarily be a bad thing either. Like, I don't think it would be a terrible thing to just ignore the Jurassic World films ever happened. They did it with Ghostbusters and it turned out fine. So why not do it with Jurassic World/Park? What we need in Jurassic Park is an open Jurassic Park which starts like that. Then they go somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, there are lots of possibilities. I mean, I don't understand why we just can't have a prequel to Jurassic Park, or do, I don't know, maybe do something based set at the same time as Dominion, but like a different part of the world. That would maybe work. I just think like it should not continue on exactly from Dominion. Like if the movie was set at the same time as Dominion and they were sort of examining a different part of the world or a different situation, then maybe I'll be all right with that. But that's kind of the only way I would see it working for me. Now, I was thinking about using planters or wall sections here, but thinking we're going to have Albertosaurus in here, and for safety's sake, you don't want to give any possibility of anything going wrong, risk assessment-wise, so we are going to line it with the glass, whoops. We're going to line it with the glass wall sections. Rotate Y. There we go. We'll put one more in and we'll remove a couple of the bushes. Just because I would like to give a bit of the curve. about do. So there's our viewing area into the Alberto enclosure. A functional San Diego would be quite cool to see. Did Australia just become more Australian? I love that idea. Basically, nothing changed in Australia thanks to the dinosaurs. Australia was just as bloodthirsty and terrible as it always has been. Okay, we'll line this path with trees. Now, in regards to viewing our Albertosaurus from down here, actually, you know, I think I might just wall it off and maybe have a viewing dome or something inside, and have maybe a viewing vent or something up here. So yeah, I think I might just let's see, let's grab the heavy fence and let's go up one level, and then we're going to go across. And let's put that viewing vent in now so we can actually get the fencing in. There we go. Oh, nice, Joshua. One of my favourite trains is the Flying Scotsman. Although I am very fond of the GT, the gas turbine loco that was built in, I think it was the 70s or something like that, 60s maybe. This has such a cool shape to it. I want that to be looking over. It's going to have to be basically... Why can't I... What's height? Oh, B.
You're mad. I'm sad.
See, I'm very much out of practice with controls today. Maybe not that design. Maybe we go with... maybe go with this one. Oh god, that's so huge compared to the Jurassic Park Operation Genesis one. No, it's a bit... Maybe go with that one. I'll leave that for now. Yes, Barger, armoured trains were very much a thing during both World War I and World War II. Armed with various types of weaponry, and you also had big railway artillery as well, things like Dora. France and Britain also had similar weapons during World War I, but they fell out of vogue after that, you know, when heavy bombers and that sort of thing took off. Big railway artillery became less effective, but the Germans still adored using it. Hence why we got things like Dora. The Germans did love their big, intimidating weapons, even if they weren't very effective. not gonna lie, we didn't need Fallen Kingdom or Dominion. Just make a movie focused on them trying to get the park back up and running. It would have been a different take on it. Or, you know, have them go back to Isla Sorna. I feel like that was a really big missed opportunity from Fallen Kingdom, or at least the Jurassic World movies in general, that Isla Sorna just kind of got forgotten about. And I have a suspicion it's because they saw the Jurassic Park 3 had quite a bad reception, and they just decided never to go to Sorna ever again because of that. Ignoring the fact that The Lost World is actually a pretty decent film. Okay, that should give us a little bit more space to do something here. Some people didn't like The Lost World. Yeah, Nerd Guy Productions actually doesn't particularly like The Lost World. I personally don't rate it as high as some people do. I know there are some people that actually prefer it to Jurassic Park. I don't. I definitely prefer OG Jurassic Park. That's so dangerous. It's just dangerous. I can't use that one. They'll just bug me.
I was going to say the human part, that's probably the worst part.
Ooh, you know what we could do? Actually. We could do something like this. I wonder if that's actually... it's not quite tall enough. We would have to we'd have to increase the height a fair amount. But that's fine. Doesn't matter. We can just we can just have it as just an upper gallery. Just need to smooth out some of this terrain a bit. No, okay, hang on. Using the lagoon galleries on the land, or rather, you know, just not attaching them to the gallery, is a bit finicky at times.
All I can think about is the robots build the BBC.
Wrong one. Let's just get the angling right. I want it to kind of be... kind of like that. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. Don't worry. Lost World beats all the Jurassic World movies. Jurassic Park 3 beats all of them, in my opinion. So much I hate... Right. So one of the problems you will have if you use a big gallery above the surface is this really obvious cutout. Actually, it helps with this cutout. You can actually see how the gallery works. So you see the blue filter to make it look like it's underwater is actually a separate element from the rest of the structure. And that's why you don't really get a very good view of the lights when you place them into the lagoon. So you'll get messed up by that filter. Right. So we need to cover that up. And I should have a fair few things that I can use to cover that up with. Let's see, that would be a bit short. That would work. So let's place... So 1 and 2. More or less covers up the space there. A couple of bushes just to we'll put some bushes and trees down. This bush will sink into the terrain a bit. There we go. And the fencing we will directly attach to the gallery. Camp Cretaceous ruined all of the Jurassic World. I do agree that Camp Cretaceous was not the best thing in the world to happen to the Jurassic fan base, because it meant the inswelling of a huge bunch of, to be charitable, let's call it the younger audience. And while I don't think that I don't want to sound like I'm gatekeeping the franchise, and it's a franchise for everybody at the end of the day, but I do think that the franchise has become gradually more and more directed at children, and as a result it has lost some of the elements that made it really good. In fact, this was something I discussed in my video for this week. I'm going to end the poll. I'm a bit concerned that like 2/3 of you haven't watched that video. Is there a particular... Those of you who haven't watched this week's video, I'm curious, is there a particular reason you haven't watched it? Like, have you just not gotten a chance to, or are you not going to watch it at all? And if you have no interest in watching it at all, I'm curious as to why. It would just help me sort of figure things out a bit, because it's been quite bad. The last January and February have been really poor in terms of views for the channel, and hang on, if it's not X and it's not Z, it's Y. That seems really bizarre. Bugger. That one needed to be lower. Not got in the chance as King Giga. One's about scientists, yeah. Yeah, it was part one of a video looking at what the problems are with the scientist system. And today I wrote the script for part two, which is my way, what I would have done if I was in charge for the scientist system. I think some of the ideas I have in the video that I wrote today will be seen as quite controversial. Evo certainly thought some of my ideas were when I was telling her about them earlier. She was like, oh god. One idea in particular, she was like, yeah, that would totally lose me. I was like, So we'll see what people think when I post it. No, I think we'll leave it as just drifting off there, and we'll use rocks and stuff here. Well, okay. I'll give you all a little bit of a tidbit into the video. The element that Evo thought would immediately turn her off was that I would not have fast forward in the game. I would remove fast forward as an option. I'm curious. I'm curious what people's responses to that is. I would have removed fast forward completely. You'd not have the option to change the game speed at all. There is a reason for it that I go into in the video, which I won't spoil here. It's kind of necessary to remove the fast forwarding system to get some other elements that I would do to work. But I can already see that the Barger would be way against that. I use it for faster exchange. Yeah, so I do understand that there are some genuine, like, reasons for having it. You know, the moving dinosaurs around quicker and things like that. And granted, the system that I've made for the video, you would have to sit there and wait for them to transport them. That's one disadvantage of the system that I've come up with, granted. But overall, I think the system would be how mine would work out. I think it's better without the fast forwarding controls. And you guys will just have to tune into that video to see if you agree or disagree. Right, let's put in some more trees. I want this to kind of be just like a lightly planted area. Maybe I want something kind of bushy. Let's use some of these and sink them into the ground, so we kind of have like little shrubs. Sink that one down too. Sink this one down too. Same for this one. Do have a couple of gaps there. So I'm gonna chuck in banana ferns are just not realistic. Where are... That's what I wanted. Sink these down. These work quite well as sort of basic sort of coverage. Put another one down in there. There you go, and we just got one little gap there which needs a bush, I think. There we go. I think that looks quite nice. So we'll keep the tree line here. I do want to try and make it a little bit thicker though. Because I think that is a little bit light. Ginkgos to the rescue. Or not. Gonna have to place them down manually, aren't I? God damn it. Seriously though, why did they add the scienticism? I did discuss that in my video actually this week. But in short, I think it's primarily because they were kind of forced to. You know, one of the major criticisms of the first game was that there was very limited management available in the first game. And I think the scientist system is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to that criticism. The problem is that because the game is not really aimed at serious management gamers, you know, it's aimed at a casual, younger audience. The problem is that they've created a system that doesn't really appeal to either, because those of us who play these sorts of management games and want hardcore levels of management, we didn't like it, and the people that want to just play the game casually also didn't like it. Sorry, Nicholas, I'm not deliberately ignoring you.
That's the next commission to get from
where is your last comment, actually? Your last comment says message retracted on it, and I haven't. All of your messages have been message retracted, Nicholas. So if you do want me to read them, you are going to have to sort of let me see them. So something about Jurassic World 4. What about it? I'm going to put in a few more trees down here. It's happening in July 20. We know. That's what the announcement said. I seriously doubt it will be ready for that time, and if it is, I think it'll be a rush job. But that is the date that they're claiming it's going to be out. I suspect it will get pushed back. Because that's a bit of a tall order to get a whole film out in what, less than 18 months now. That's pretty tough going, I think. It's all right, Nicholas. It's just one of the problems with this game is that I do kind of have to keep focusing on the screen to see what I'm doing, and sometimes it means I miss the messages. So do bear with me. I don't deliberately ignore anyone. I am doing my best.
I'm guessing it's still I'm referring to stuff. Yeah.
What I'll do is in 20 minutes or so at the halfway point, we'll take a short break like Eva used to do to just have a general chit chat. So that way, if I do miss anything, you can give me a shout then. Hey, hello, Kairu. Ravens all the way, best football team. Wouldn't know, Barger. We don't have American football over here in Britain. And even if we did, I probably wouldn't be interested. I'm not really a sports kind of person. I mean, I am waiting for Formula 1 to come back. But that's about it. Why is the dino scaling in Jurassic World Evolution 2 so fucked up compared to real life? It's a good question, because some of them are way off. I think probably some of it is down to the fact that they... Apparently, I don't have any evidence to say this is true, but apparently they outsource some of their dinosaur model development to other studios, other people. And I get the impression that might be why some of the dino scaling is always a little off in some respects, because they're getting, shall we say, other individuals to do it. But that's just speculation. GX. Oh. So, I've been really surprised. When I was a kid, Godzilla wasn't really a thing that was much discussed. I remember vaguely there was like an animated TV show with Godzilla. Well, it wasn't Godzilla, it was Zilla. It came out after the Zilla film. And that was about it. And from what I remember as a kid, the Zilla movie wasn't particularly well received by anyone. I don't remember many people talking about it. I mean, I loved it. It's one of my guilty pleasure films. I don't care. I honestly really like Zilla's design. I have never really been one for that. I kind of liked just how it looked like an overgrown dinosaur, because to me that was most realistic in terms of its posture and stuff. It looked the most natural looking to me. Which I know is kind of heresy to say. What should we do for the biome in here? Like, shall we give the Albertosaurus anything specific in terms of decorative element or something? Because every other dinosaur we've kind of tried to give them some sort of decoration. So, what shall we do for the Albertosaurus? Oh, I never watched the Walking with Dinosaurs movie. I didn't want to spoil happy memories of my childhood.
So, I think 6.
I think I've got some like building ruins in here. Maybe we could use some of those to sort of do like a...
Just eat half as well. I was actually after there. Is this a building or is it just a weird farm thing?
Yeah, where is... See, we got this like old church. Thinking we could maybe do something with this. Let's just like put it down and maybe like kind of maybe bury it partly in the water. And maybe we could follow that up with a couple of these towers. Maybe we could have one sort of as a decorative element. Let's see, maybe have them along the fence actually. So let's have
This top one.
so like
Which is in that 20.
one there and one there. We can put down a few trees and such just to bed in the old church.
Yeah, I have that I should start with like so and citizens involved in all this.
And maybe stick a floodlight in here as well. Like if we grab one of those, put it in here and have it sort of in the air a little bit. Kind of add some illumination there. Looks a bit like a lighthouse. Zilla is a monster I'd like to see in more Godzilla games. I mean, like I say, I like the Zilla design. I know a lot of people considered it heresy, but I think it was a good design. Happy with how that is looking. We can make use of one of these as well. It's like a final touch. If we just sink it down.
But you wouldn't be able to hide it.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with how this has turned out. And let's give our Alberto's a bit of a beach down here. Let's go sort of just flowers and such down here.
Yeah.
Manually place in a few more bushes and trees. Nice.
Maybe it's getting maybe.
Yep, good. And along the beach, we'll just put in some rocks. And we'll just put some much smaller trees and stuff in there. I think that looks good enough. What do people think? Just gonna have a slurp of drink. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go and find some skins for the Albertosaurus.
He's a champion.
I'm hoping to hear the Millennium Roar in the next movie. Huh? Oh no. Oh no. Did I just...
That is not good.
Oh, please tell me I didn't just... Oh, I didn't realize I was on the load screen. I thought I was on the save screen. Fuck.
What you done? What have you done?
Doesn't matter, I'll tell you after.
Okay.
I'm so I'm so fucking annoyed. I can't believe I was on the load screen instead of the save screen. Yeah, the problem is, King Giga, autosave overwrites the minute it loads in. Ah, that's so frustrating, dudes. Ah, there's nothing for it. I'm just gonna have to rebuild it. Sorry, guys. Ah.
Ice, just to be sure.
That'll be because I have barely slept in the last couple of days. That's just what happens when you make a mistake.
God, we were just denying movements.
Oh well. This will be a good test to see if I can speed run build the enclosure again. Because we know what we're doing, so... I'll leave the amenities. I know where they're going. I just wasn't looking. Wasn't looking. 7, 8, 9. It's alright. I will try and get this made quickly. I'll just get the basics done. I won't redo all of that annoying detailing work that I was spending so long doing. I'll just get the basics put in, and then I will redo the rest off stream. Right now, I couldn't care less about my guests complaining about restroom coverage. They can piss in a bag as far as I'm concerned. It took you 56 minutes. I know. 56 minutes of
Yeah, I know.
building wasted because
Not great.
I didn't read what it said before I hit go. Ugh.
It's number 80s.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Everyone survives that, right?
That's not straight.
They are.
It's better.
When you try and some things like, yeah, I'm technically behind this. I've already calculated it, bitch.
Fletcher, can you think of any mammals that would survive in the Mesozoic? What, modern day ones? Have I watched the Ice Age movies? I've seen 1 and 2 and 3. I don't think I saw 4. Don't think I did. It has been a long time since I've seen any of them, to be honest. Right. This thing, which is going about... Okay. It's going about there. Yeah, I think I've seen 3 of the Ice Age movies. I don't remember seeing more than that. In terms of modern day mammals, hard to know. I mean, obvious answers would be things like cats, big cats, and canines. But actually, I'm not so sure about that because many of the niches they now fill were niches the dinosaurs were filling. So maybe not. I don't think whales would do well because obviously you've got mosasaurs and pliosaurs and that sort of thing. So I don't think... I mean, killer whales might do alright. Killer whales, sperm whales, you know, whale species that are generally a bit more vicious, shall we say. I think they'd be alright. Let's grab those decorative pieces again.
Using fire in this situation is not so much a good idea because I burn shit. So, and on fire, it's the top one again. It will be. 22. Don't say that. That is 5.
What about elephants? Elephants too slow. I think elephants would be too easily picked off.
That is me, and this black circle does not have that.
Same with rhinos, same with giraffes. One of the things you have to realize, or one of the things I think people don't realize about dinosaurs, or don't think about, is that reptiles are generally quite hardy animals. You know, they are capable of withstanding huge amounts of injury and surviving that injury. You know, they're turtles that have suffered enormous, injuries from boats, and they just carry on. They are surprisingly resilient. Mammals, on the other hand, aren't. Mammals are fragile. And I think compared to a reptile, I mean you only have to look at the history of evolution on the planet. Reptiles have been around for 300 or so million years, depending on which paleontologist you talk to, because they all have a different idea of what is and is not a reptile. Same as, they all have a different perception of when a dinosaur became a dinosaur and when it wasn't. But, we're talking 300, 350 million years, the Carboniferous period, things like that. Mammals have been around for not that long. So I think reptiles have us beaten in some departments. Bears. I mean, bears maybe. But again, I still think they would be pushed out of their habitats. You also have to remember that bears hibernate. Dinosaurs don't need to hibernate, so I think that would play an important part.
I do love the way that me and Oz are just painstakingly precise, confusing it.
Okay. That's a little better. Oh, let's put in these wall sections. Why did you just... I hate it when it does that. Just randomly decides to flatten something in the world's most ugliest way. Just because it's like, oh my god. This needs to be on flat terrain. It's like, no it doesn't. Just clip it through.
In that video, Vicer is actually a snapping turtle.
God damn it.
I think it's the same video.
There. It's not level again, is it? Arrgh. I want fine. Just focus on the trees and stuff in here. Get these done so we can put the Albertosaurus in. So there can actually be some bloody dinosaurs in this stream. I can hear Ian Malcolm in the back of my ear already saying, maybe you'll have some dinosaurs on this dinosaur island of yours. Honey badgers are incredibly clever animals. They would probably be alright, I think.
Just stick them in your world.
I do think the smarter an animal is, the better the chance it has of surviving. Because dinosaurs were not that intelligent. I think it's the one advantage that perhaps mammals would have over dinosaurs is the smarts. So, yeah, I think more intelligent mammals would do alright. Of course, that means anyone that votes for Donald Trump is not gonna do all right, because only idiots vote for him. Cannot believe that he's basically going to be president again. Like, didn't America learn the first time round? For heaven's sake. The whole world is just going to start laughing at you again. Where the hell did you get Trump from? I'm just grumbling now. Just grumbling because I'm having to redo this. So I'm just starting to grumble about other stuff now.
We can change the time actually. Exactly.
Most people who voted for him that I know are tired of paying taxes that goes to people who aren't here legally. That is the traditional argument. I would say I find that argument kind of funny considering
We can make those.
that people like Trump I mean, Trump himself is literally in a criminal case for avoiding paying tax. So him saying, oh, people shouldn't have to pay tax to people that are here illegally. Well, he doesn't pay tax anyway. He avoids it. He's committed tax fraud. It's what he's in all these criminal cases for. So I find it kind of funny that he's using that as a political point. You'd vote for an orange guy over dementia. Yeah, I mean, having seen how it's gone, I am in awe that in a country as big and apparently advanced as America, the two best presidential options are an orange man who's an incredible racist and bigot, a businessman who commits tax evasion and fraud and God knows what else, or a man that clearly is too old for the job and needs to be replaced. That's the two best options in the whole of the country. Millions of people to choose from, and that's the best they could come up with, both sides. Like, what on earth? It's almost laughable how bad the choices are. And it's also kind of sad because I would not want to be an American at the moment, having to choose between those two options. I probably wouldn't even vote. I would just give up. I just give up. The popular guy will vote because popular and racism, and then just yeah, what a mess. Yes, Rishi and Biden have been ordering airstrikes on Yemen because they think the best way to deal with not terror attacks, but acts of aggression is to bomb the people that are doing it. They think that's going to stop them. Well, I would like them to look at every other example in history because it's never worked. Never.
Both of them.
No. We bombed the absolute hell out of Nazi Germany during World War II. Did it stop Nazi Germany? No. We still had to, the Russians still had to go into Germany itself and literally fight to the last building in Berlin. Bombing the heck out of them didn't stop conflict. The same with Iraq. They bombed the heck out of them. Did it stop Iraq? No. It dragged on and on and on, and then when they all left, the Taliban came back.
And I was going to say you would have got sneak attack anyway because air was there as well.
It never works. You can't fight these sort of very mobile guerrilla forces with airstrikes. I would have thought America had learned from losing in Vietnam, and they did lose, whatever America likes to think about itself. They lost the Vietnamese War. They ran away with their tail between their legs because they couldn't win. That is the truth of it. It's not that you can't fight fire with fire. It's that it's an entirely different type of warfare. These, I don't want to call them terrorist groups because I don't think they are terrorist groups. The terrorists and terrorism and the way the word is used is not really correct. These are military organizations that usually have been pushed into this position by feeling disenfranchised or feeling like they have genuine issues. And that's where I think the West always goes wrong in this case. Like they way too quickly label these people, oh, they're terrorists. The people who conducted these attacks on 9/11, they're just terrorists. It's like, okay, but maybe a key sort of aspect of the issue is to figure out why they chose to do it. Like, what is it that has driven them to that position? Most sane people don't fly aircraft into buildings without a purpose. I think if there was more conversation, before deciding just to bomb people. I mean, we've got the same thing happening with Israel and Palestine at the moment. Palestine is basically being flattened one building at a time by Israel.
Yeah, it was.
Has it, have they recovered their hostages alive? No. Most of the hostages they've recovered alive have been released through negotiation. The actual military actions haven't achieved anything. In fact, all the military actions have achieved for Israel is it's made the rest of the world accuse them of war crimes. So, that's not a good look. This is why good quality history education is so important. Because it helps you understand better ways of doing things. Oh, well, yeah, King Gengar. I mean, ever since Well, I would say American presidents have been pretty bad since the Cold War. You know, Nixon. I mean, JFK did some shady crap with Cuba. History is better than math. Oh, totally. Totally agree with that. I hate math.
I have to get the distraction. You control.
Right. I'll quickly sort out these last gaps in here. Then I will make definitely sure I save. And then we'll go and find some Albertosaurus.
Isn't it usually here to go? Yeah.
There's a couple of gaps here.
It would be frightening, actually.
I actually think this second attempt has actually turned out a bit better than the first. Actually. Yeah. I'm happy with how this has turned out this time. Okay. Save. Override save.
I mean, to be fair, that was just my catch because of my post.
Gonna go to the load screen to make sure that definitely saved. Yes, let's save time 22:28. Good. Let's go get those Albertosaurus. Hmm. It's not the last habitat for the Canadian park, no. But because basically I ended up destroying an hour of my own work, we aren't going to get as much of this particular island done as possible. I would stay on stream slightly longer, but I'm so knackered today that I'm really can't. So we'll try and get as much done as possible. So, not Acro, Alberto. I actually honestly think Albertosaurus has so many really good skins, it's very difficult to choose. Now remember, we need to have a male and a female skin to match the other dinosaurs in the park. So, give me some suggestions, folks, for your favourite Alberto skins.
I mean, they're here.
Mangrove and... So, Mangrove and Rana. I mean, it is pretty nice, the blue and the speckles. Mangrove and Litho. Litho base is also pretty good. I'm personally a fan of Calcarana as a pattern on Death Valley. Absolutely adore how that looks. And it works quite well on basically every skin as well, which is pretty nice. let's try to nail down the colorations first. Let's decide on the colors for the male and the female. I do like the mangrove color, but is there a female skin that goes with it? Not really, I have to say. The mangrove skin is kind of a skin of its own. I mean, we could go for a really, really big variation between male and female. Blue Rex. Or we could go for the same blue, but give the male and the females different pattern. So if we went with Calcarana for the male and Rana for the female, so basically the male pattern is a lot more distinctive than the female one. I think that works quite well. Let's just check the others. I mean, that one could also work, Calcarana and Pulcarana. I say give males Calcarana and make the females blank. Maybe I think that blank is just a little too extreme on its own. Like, I quite like the idea of the females having some pattern, just less of it. So we'll go with Mangrove Forest and Calcarana for the males, and females Mangrove Forest and Rana. And
I do.
We will name them, yes.
I am going to close that to myself. It is expended die equals expended die and roll damage. So 1. I take 6 damage from it now. This is good for good. But the fleshy flowers that are on my shoulders.
So while we're creating these dinosaurs and loading back in, so the plan for the next few weeks of videos for Tricor, obviously next week is going to be the part 2 of the scientist video. So that's next week's video. And then after that is my birthday week. My birthday, 5th of March. So that whole week I will probably make stream week if people would be up for that. I don't mind streaming every day of the every evening on the week of my birthday. So there probably wouldn't be a video in that week because, you know, I'd be streaming. I think how big is that area actually? How big? It's actually not enormous in size, is it? I think 1 female, 1 male. I think we won't overfill it. We'll go 1 female, 1 male.
Doesn't matter. I fucking asked. I'm fine.
Yeah. So the first week of March, will probably be streams every single night. And I'll probably let you guys pick some games out for me to play. Maybe do an Isle stream. Maybe a few other, maybe some War Thunder, maybe a few other sort of random games. Prehistoric Kingdom as well, because there's an update coming, I believe. So, and then after that, I was probably going to do some quite short, quick videos, sort of like just going through some good skins or going through some animal rankings, because the aim is that in April that I do my retrospective review of the Walking with Dinosaurs, because I haven't got round to it. It was supposed to be April's job for last year, and I never got round to it because computer problems and that sort of thing. So this April, I want to actually get those retrospective reviews of Walking with Dinosaurs done. So that is April's job, but obviously I'm going to need time in sort of March to like script them and do the research for them. So that's why the videos in March might be kind of shorter and a bit more simplistic. So I apologize in advance of that, but it's just so I have the space and time to focus. So what shall our male Albertosaurus be called? Relax, Albertosaurus. No, we won't call Albertosaurus Albert. That's just not imaginative. I want an imaginative name. Tom? No, an imaginative name.
That's what I've been.
Are we gonna have an? Are we having a social? We are.
Yeah, that's what
Leopard, the British Empire, Bob. Bob it is then. So what will Bob's mate be called? It obviously has to be a female name. Jessica. I like Jessica. Jessica is a nice name. Bob and Jessica. Our two Albertosaurus in the rebuilt enclosure. God almighty. Right, I've got 20 minutes. What can I do in 20 minutes? Let's try and lay out what we're going to do with the rest of this part, because this is the rest of the area up here. Oh. So I finally fixed my awful... So you know I was not particularly happy with this enclosure. And someone's just suggested lining it with trees, which I did, and yeah, it looks better, and I'm actually happy with how this paddock has now turned out. So I haven't changed the species in here. I was happy with the layout of the river, happy with the Camaras, happy with the Pachyrhinosaurus. The males now have where are our males? There's our males. So our males now have very vibrant, bright patterns, which suits them, I think. So, yes, up here. Let's switch to the snow texture so we can draw stuff in. I do think I want the path to kind of be a bit thicker up here and to line it. This bit in the middle here, I was thinking we could use for, say, a garden, maybe. Or some sort of decorative area. This pathway here, I want to double up. Because it's going to be going through this tree line. So we need it to be thicker. A ride area. See, I don't really do tour rides because I think they're really terrible ideas. I always go for realistic park depictions. I always try to make something that's realistic. And you just don't... You wouldn't want a park tour. Not really. Plus, it's not really a big enough space up here for me to do a tour. I think that's way too compressed. So I think what we need to do is we will probably have to do... I think we'll have to have like some amenity area here. And then maybe we could have an enclosure that's kind of like that. I think we'll have make it like a herbivore enclosure up there. And then here, I mean, I'd love to have another lagoon, honestly. It would be tight, but I reckon I could get another two lagoon chunk in there. Oh, well, why? Let me guess. Ah, who could have thunk it? What a shock! My pterosaurs. Oh, look at that. There's... I honestly think this one is stuck as well. No, this one's fine. No, I don't think this one is fine. I think that one is also stuck in that tree. Look how awful that is. Like, that tree is a type of tree you are allowed to place in your, like, your aviaries. I'm not, you know, I haven't picked a tree that's not commonly there, and the pterosaurs are still getting stuck in it. Oy, awful. Just awful. Anyway. So yeah, maybe we could have like a lagoon. See, I also, I don't know, I do kind of like the fact this is the only lagoon in the park. Makes it kind of a bit more special. Oh, we haven't named the Mortorneria. Oh, in fact, I already know what I'm going to name the Mortorneria. Here's our male, and he's going to be called Martok. And our female is going to be called Cirilla. That's a little bit of a Star Trek reference from one of the best couples in Star Trek, Martok and Cirilla, Klingon couple, and they are very, very funny. In fact, one of my best lines is that Cirilla comes to meet her husband on a space station, and the first thing she says to him is, "You haven't died yet." And Martok's response is, "I'll endeavour to die this year if preferable." It's the best couples relationship on in Star Trek. Definitely in Star Trek. Not exactly. That's just what Klingons are like, nerd guy. They just like to goad each other like that. Is this guy... Seriously, will you go and eat? If he starves to death, I don't care. He can rot in his aviary for all I care. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Use a toolbox to reset. Oh no, it's fine. He went and had a drink, and he went and got food. It's fine. He's fixed. There we go.
So we heard of reports of Astrid's D&D game. Take that down, copyright for what's
Judging by the map he's flying,
so it's not for us.
same spot to get stuck into. Yeah, well, if he gets stuck again, he gets stuck again. It does annoy me that, like, there's 3 or 4 patch notes that state that problem's been fixed. Clearly hasn't. It has never been fixed. It's been a problem since day 1, and it remains a problem 2 years down the line. I mean... Come on, Frontier.
I'm going to be tired. It's
You know, I am not sure about any of the layout up here. It's difficult sometimes. Especially when you want something to look kind of natural, but at the same time it's got to work. Bollocks, is that a different path type? Oh, it is. Let's see if I can grab it with Kai's thing. There we go. Excellent. Fletcher, how would you feel if the United Kingdom just dissolved? It would be unfortunate. They can take our land, but they'll never take our freedom. The historical inaccuracies in that movie are rife. I feel like we should double up some of these just to make them look a little less fragile. Maybe not this side, so that'll restrict passage. We'll make this side though a bit bigger. Right. And that'll be our garden area, sort of. Thinking maybe we could put a monument or something in here. Or a ruin, something. Scotland forever. Need to go to Scotland at some point. It is a nice looking place, but I'd probably definitely go in the summer when it's, you know, warm. Yeah. Okay. And then in here, so I'm thinking having... I think it makes sense to have the hotels on, like, the lake front. Ardell. And maybe this bit up here we could just have as something... I don't know. Just gonna put E for enclosure question mark. I could just put like a couple more buildings up there. Maybe some science buildings or something like that. Or an attraction of some sort. Yeah. Now you can see I added the different. I finished sorting out the foliage for this. I say it's not really a tour ride. It's just the truck that drives you to the next part of the park. With the giant statues of the sauropods and such around. Some triceratops, stegs, corythos in here. Looks better now that it's all got the proper vegetation in. I hate the fact that that is not perfect. So let's just get this sorted out before I call it a night. There we are. Actually have a fountain in the middle here. Quite like the idea of trying to mix a couple of fountains together. Oh wow, that's actually exactly the same size. I wasn't expecting that. um, let's just make our own design for this. Make sure it's in the rough center. I think that's about it. Put a few trees in here. Or on here, I should say. And a dinosaur statue. Who shall we have Albertosaurus, since he is at this part of the park? Albertosaurus. Okay, 2 Albertosaurus. And we'll just make sure that they're illuminated. And we'll stick with this one. There we go. And let's just change the light color. Since they're blue, let's give them a blue light. There we go. What if Nano-Tyrannus magically became valid again? I wasn't aware that Nano-Tyrannus was no longer valid as a species. Yeah, that's news to me. Just wanted to put in some dividing wall here, because I'm thinking I'm gonna have just a few benches or something. Might bring it back ever so slightly. Yeah, there's enough room there for just a couple of benches. Fletcher, how mad do you think the Paleo Nerds would be if the next DLC is a No Mendubium pack and has no Tyrannus? I don't think they would care, to be honest. I think at this point we're all just after new content with this game, but honestly, Don't know what they're going to be adding next. It better be something good. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. Quality over quantity. Couldn't agree with you more, Giga. Well, there we go. I'm sorry that the first hour was wasted due to my own mistake. I shall get the rest of this area of the park completed off stream, so that the next stream we do on this, we can focus on getting this area up the top finished. I might do the hotel area and the other bit off stream as well, so we just have this little area to complete next stream. And yeah, well, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please don't forget to like the stream, subscribe if you're new here. If you haven't watched the latest video from this week, please do go and watch it, because it's part 1 of the second part, which I'm doing this coming week. And also, it just does help the channel to grow. The more watches and likes we get, comments, etc., it just helps us grow. And I think we hit 2,200 this week, so it would be nice to get that figure up to a good 3,000 before the end of the year. So everything you can do to help is appreciated. But yeah, next week, like I say, there'll be the part 2 of the scientist video, stream on Sunday as per normal, and after that we'll be doing a stream week for my birthday. So I hope to see lots of you guys there for that. But for the time being, thank you for tuning in and joining me. Enjoy the rest of your days wherever you are. Stay safe, and good night.